Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key. And that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. Like, Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
A lot of supplement brands chase trends, but if you're serious about your health, we know research-backed science is what actually moves the needle. Momentous works with the best brains in human science to create every formula, and every batch is made of pure ingredients, tested for safety, and does not contain fillers. So you get the best long-term results possible. Creatine isn't just for muscle gains, it's essential daily fuel for your brain, body, and long-term performance. Momentous CreaPure Creatine is backed by leading performance experts like Dr. Andrew Huberman and Dr. Stacy Sims. Sourced exclusively in Germany, CreaPure sets the gold standard for creatine, delivering the purest form, creatine monohydrate, that's rigorously washed and never cut with fillers. With over 2,000 5-star reviews, over 112,000 customers have seen the results firsthand. With Momentous, the fundamentals are done right. Right now, Momentous is offering our listeners up to 35% off your first subscription order with promo code ACAST. Go to livemomentous.com and use promo code ACAST for up to 35% off your first subscription order. That's livemomentous.com, promo code ACAST.
Most people overpay for car insurance, not because they're careless, but because switching feels like too much hassle. That's why there's Jerry, your proactive insurance assistant. Jerry compares rates side by side from over 50 top insurers and helps you switch with ease. Jerry even tracks market rates and alerts you when it's best to shop. No spam calls, no hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Switch with confidence. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/ACAST today.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Toby.
And welcome to the Whispering Woods podcast. This episode is all about
Krampus.
Yes, it is Krampus night on Saturday. So this week we are doing Krampusy type stories all week. And we are also digging deep into the archive and bringing out an old Krampus episode that I've kind of tried to remaster a bit. I had to cut some of the speech out, but it's hilarious, Toby. It's you when you were 12. And yeah. We're going to do a rerun of it because, I just don't know why I was talking the way I was talking. Obviously nerves, trying to do a really good job. And yeah, my voice is just awful. But it is fun. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/The Whispering Woods, where we have a number of different tiers. For £2.50 a month, you can listen to the Whispering Woods episodes ad-free. And then for £4.50 a month, you can listen to the Whispering Woods and the After Dark episodes ad-free. We are also on Apple Premium, where for $4.99 a month you can listen to all episodes ad-free. Right, that's my little bit of business. Now we're going to move on. I love Krampus Night, and you know for sure I'm going to be watching the film Krampus.
Yeah.
My tradition. Also, I've noticed there's a second film of Trolls, I think it's called. Or Troll.
On Netflix.
Yeah, I've been saving that. I've earmarked it.
Norwegian one.
Yeah, I love it. Anyway, I'll get straight into this. So I've kind of gone over a little bit about Krampus, but then we're looking at things that have happened around the world that could be tied into Krampus, okay? A little bit different. Are you ready for the story?
Yes, I am.
Snow crunched under 2 pairs of small boots as the brothers made their way home at dusk. The forest flanking their path was already pitch dark, the trees brittle with frost. Not a single sleigh bell echoed from the village yet. Just an eerie silence. Then somewhere in those black woods came a sound. Clink, drag, clink. Chains, rattling ever so faintly between the trunks. The boys froze. They knew the old stories their father had told them about a horned Christmas demon who wandered the winter nights with chains hanging from his furry arms. Neither dared to speak. The younger gripped the elder's coat as the metallic clanking grew louder. In their minds, there was only one thing it could be. Terror seized them. They turned and ran screaming back toward the warm glow of home, convinced that something was following close behind. By now, you're familiar with the image, a shaggy horned figure with cloven hooves and a lolling tongue, rattling chains and carrying a bundle of birch switches. Traditionally, he's said to stalk the winter streets on Krampusnacht, assisting St. Nicholas by punishing naughty children. But tonight, we're not here to recount old folk tales. Instead, we're delving into something far more unsettling. Real-world encounters. Could the Krampus, or something like him, exist outside of storybooks? It turns out that chilling reports of a Goatman creature are not confined to the Alps. As folklore spreads, so do sightings of a Krampus-like entity, from small towns in the Americas to remote valleys in New Zealand. Legends of similar horned humanoids abound. Most people dismiss them as hoaxes or misidentifications, yet a few brave souls swear they have been seen, heard, or even stalked by something that reminds them of the Christmas demon. Our first tale comes from a subtropical city, far from Krampus's alpine home. It's 1998 in Caracas, Venezuela, a place where the figure of Krampus is not part of the local Christmas lore. Yet one family encountered something they could only call El Diablo. Imagine a warm December evening in a quiet Caracas neighborhood. A 7-year-old boy and his older sister, she's about 13, are walking home after a family gathering. Holiday lights blink from windows and the sounds of distant fireworks pop in the night air. Christmas is only days away. The children chat softly, the younger one clutching a new toy he got early. As they round a corner near their house, the elder sister suddenly gasps and grabs her brother's arm. There, just beyond their front gate, stands a tall, dark silhouette, illumined by a single flickering street lamp. The figure appears to be covered in black hair and has an odd, hunched posture. 2 points horns, perhaps, jut from its head. Before the little boy can comprehend what he's seeing, the creature moves. It lopes across the yard with an uncanny gait. Later, he would remember thinking it looked like a funny-looking kangaroo, of all things. Perhaps it was the bent legs, or the way it hopped away into the shadows. His sister knew better. She let out a scream, and, overwhelmed by fright, fainted on the spot. The boy stood there confused. In his innocent mind, the horned figure hadn't triggered the same alarm. To him, it was weird and almost cartoonish, but not necessarily supernatural. Thinking perhaps he was dreaming, he nudged his sister, trying to wake her. By the time their parents rushed out amid the commotion, the mysterious figure was gone. For years, neither sibling spoke of that night. The boy, in fact, nearly forgot the incident, assuming it had been some childish nightmare. It wasn't until many years later, as adults, that his sister brought it up again. She finally asked, "Do you remember that night I collapsed in the yard? I saw something." The now-grown man felt goosebumps as the memory came rushing back. They both realised that both of them had witnessed the same creature, one they couldn't explain. In the local tongue, their family had one name for the horned, long-legged beast: El Diablo, the devil. It's as if the old European Krampus had paid an unwelcome visit to South America that Christmas. Whatever it was, the encounter left the siblings with a lifelong fear whenever December rolls around. Our next encounter comes from the high mountains of the Pacific Northwest in the United States, about as far from Caracas as one can get. The storyteller is a man, recalling an incident from his teenage years in rural Washington state. He grew up on a Native American reservation, where elders sometimes spoke about a hoofman or skinwalker roaming the outskirts. As a skeptical 17-year-old, he never gave those stories much credit. Until one summer evening, when he went out for a run and came face to face with something out of a nightmare. It was a little after 7 p.m, still light out on a long July evening. This young man often jogged a few miles of dirt road that wound past an old, overgrown cemetery on the edge of town. The sun was low, painting the sky in amber, but daylight clung stubbornly to the world. He remembers that he was lost in his music and the rhythm of his sneakers on gravel, barely paying attention to the rows of leaning tombstones to his left. That changed when he noticed movement in the corner of his eye. From a tangle of brush by the cemetery fence, something stood up. A man, or so he assumed, rose out of the weeds about 20 feet from the road, and then, inexplicably, started running parallel to him. The figure matched his pace easily, crashing through the 4-foot-tall grass that separated the graveyard from the road. At first, the teen's reaction was annoyance rather than fear. In this remote community, it wasn't heard of to run into the occasional oddball. He figured some prankster living on the property was mockingly jogging alongside him as a joke. The copycat kept about 20 feet of distance, trotting through the brush and occasionally leaping, almost playfully, over fallen logs and headstones. The teenager rolled his eyes and pushed himself to run a little faster, unwilling to give the weirdo the satisfaction of a reaction. They carried on like this for 100 yards, but something about the stranger's silhouette was gnawing at the young man's mind. The way he leapt and moved seemed off. So our narrator stole a fuller glance mid-stride and felt his stomach drop. The figure's coat wasn't a coat at all. It appeared to be a shaggy hide draped over its body, and atop its head were not a hat or hood, but two curved horns. In one hand, if it was a hand, it carried a long stick or staff decorated with what looked like dangling feathers. The realization hit the teen that this was no ordinary person. A chill of fear finally cut through him. He skidded to a stop and spun around, heart hammering. Sensing the boy had stopped, the creature stopped too. It turned toward him fully for the first time. Now the two stood facing each other on opposite sides of the dirt road in the eerie stillness of a summer twilight. The young man's mind struggled to process what he was seeing, only 10 yards away in clear daylight. From the waist up, it did resemble a man, broadly built with two muscular arms and a torso draped in a tattered fur cape. But from the waist down, it had the legs of an animal, bent backwards at the knees, covered in coarse hair, ending in dark, shiny hooves. The creature's chest heaved as it panted from the run. It was tall, maybe 7 feet if it stood fully erect, and its face was unlike any human's. The teen found himself staring into a long, snouted face, like that of a wolf or wild dog, with pointed ears and a maw full of sharp teeth. A shaggy mane of fur hung from his neck. Shockingly, the thing's eyes held an intelligent, almost mischievous glint as they locked onto the boy. For a moment, neither moved. Then, in a gesture both absurd and terrifying, the Goatman did something unexpected. It began to run backwards, keeping its eyes on the boy while retreating a few steps. It opened its mouth and let out a rasping sound, half laugh, half snarl, and a long tongue lolled out between its fangs. That was the breaking point. With a cry of pure fear, the teenager turned and bolted back the way he came, sprinting down the road as fast as his legs could carry him. As he fled, he glanced over his shoulder repeatedly. The creature had stopped at the edge of the cemetery, watching him go. It did not give chase. It simply stood there amid the swaying grass, a horned silhouette against the dusk sky, until the boy was out of sight. He didn't stop running until he was through his front door, startling his family as he burst inside white as a sheet. Only once he caught his breath did he explain what he'd seen. Something. Of course his parents were sceptical. Broad daylight or not, it sounded unbelievable. The teen himself admits he spent years afterward trying to rationalise it. Maybe it was a man in an elaborate costume pulling a cruel prank. But deep down he knew the truth. No costume could move like that or look so real up close. It had to be a living creature. In the days following, one memory kept resurfacing in his mind. He recalled how the reservation elders, upon offering rides to youngsters walking alone at dawn, would often insist the kids remove their shoes first, to prove they had human feet and not hidden hooves. It was an old precaution against picking up a shape-shifting hoofman, a story he'd always dismissed as superstitious nonsense. Now he wasn't so sure. After his encounter, the legend of the hoofman suddenly felt all too real. In sharing his story, he wrote, "I don't believe in ghosts or Bigfoot or any of that, but I know what I saw. I just have no idea what it was, only that it wasn't human." The incident left him so shaken that even as an adult, he rarely goes jogging alone in the woods, especially not near that old cemetery on a summer evening. For our third account, we travel to a small rural town in Alabama, deep in the American South, where an entire family witnessed a Krampus-like apparition. This story unfolds on a cold December night in the early 2000s. A woman named Marjorie, we'll call her that for this story, was visiting her hometown for the holidays along with her mother. One night, Marjorie, her mum, and her grandmother found themselves restless at home. Perhaps grief played a part. It was the first Christmas after Marjorie's grandfather had passed away, and the family thought a late-night drive to the cemetery would be a cathartic way to feel close to him. So, a little after midnight, the three of them climbed into a car with a thermos of cocoa, planning to visit Grandpa's grave under the winter starlight. The road was empty as they drove out of the tiny town centre. Marjorie took the wheel, her mother in the passenger seat, and Grandma bundled in back. The atmosphere was peaceful at first. Quiet southern streets lined with leafless oaks. The car's headlights cutting a tunnel through the darkness. They turned onto the narrow lane leading to the cemetery, which sat at the end of a dead-end road abutting thick woods. Marjorie slowed down, rolling past the wrought iron arch that marked the cemetery's entrance. Gravel crunched under their tyres. Just then, Grandma leaned forward between the seats, eyes wide, and exclaimed, "Do you all see that?" Before Marjorie could ask what she meant, something bolted across the road, just a few yards in front of the car. Marjorie slammed the brakes. In the stark wash of the headlights, a tall black figure flashed by. It moved on two legs, but far faster than any person could. A blur of fur and shadow emerging from the cemetery gates and disappearing into the trees on the other side of the road. All three women saw it clearly for the briefest moment. "What was that?" Marjorie's mother cried out. Marjorie's hands were locked on the steering wheel, knuckles white, as she tried to process the image. The figure was roughly man-shaped, but hunched forward as it ran, and it definitely had horns or antlers on its head. In the instant it crossed in front of them, its eyes had caught the light. She later recalled they shone a dull reddish colour, like an animal's at night. There was no mistaking it. This was not a deer. In fact, no animal common to Alabama matched what they saw. It looked for all the world like a goatman come to life out of folklore. Marjorie's grandmother began praying under her breath in the back seat. No one dared to step out of the car. They inched forward just enough to shine the headlights toward Grandpa's headstone in the distance. But not one of them was willing to get out and finish their original mission. Marjorie said, voice shaky, "Sorry, Grandpa." With that, she threw the car into reverse and backed out of the lane as fast as she could, never taking her eyes off the dark tree line where the creature had vanished. The family drove straight home in stunned silence, each replaying what they'd seen. Any thought that it was some teenager in a costume pulling a prank seemed implausible. Who would lurk at a graveyard after midnight in a get-up like that and move so fast? And besides, the creature's gait and pitch-black form were unlike any harmless prankster. The women knew they had witnessed something that defied easy explanation. In the years that followed, Marjorie couldn't shake the memory of that horned shadow sprinting out from among the tombstones. She would talk about it with only a few close friends, the kind that wouldn't laugh at her. As it turned out, her experience wasn't unique. In that same Alabama town, at least 2 other people had reported seeing a black, goat-like creature near the cemetery around that time. All of the descriptions matched. Tall, dark fur, standing on hind legs, and fleeing into the woods at incredible speed. Some locals quietly started referring to it as the Devil of Oak Grove Cemetery. Of course, skeptics said it was probably just a black goat that had gone feral, or a cow that escaped a pasture. But those who saw it know it was far too large and swift, and bipedal, to be any normal animal. Marjorie and her family certainly believe they encountered something straight out of a Christmas horror tale that night. To this day, she admits she feels a jolt of nerves whenever she drives past the cemetery after dark, especially in the dead of winter. The stories don't end there. As news of these encounters spread, more people have come forward with their own bizarre experiences. Not all of them involve actually seeing a monster. Sometimes it's just unsettling signs that suggest something was nearby. In a few alpine villages in Europe, for instance, there are tales of families hearing the jingle of bells or the scrape of chains outside their doors in the dark of Krampusnacht, only to find nothing when they gathered the courage to look. Is it overactive imaginations fueled by holiday spirits? Perhaps, but it leaves you wondering how an imaginary creature could leave cloven footprints in the snow. On a native reservation in the American Southwest, there's a local legend of a figure they nickname Hoofy. Far from being a wild marauder in the woods, Hoofy is said to blend in among ordinary people. He dresses very sharp and has a suave attitude, one source described. You'd never notice his hooves at first, because he's always in a nice suit, hair slicked back, a real gentleman, except for the goat legs hidden under those pressed trousers. Rumour has it he's been spotted in casinos late at night, buying drinks for strangers and making promises that often end in misfortune. A modern trickster devil, walking on polished hooves among the slot machines and neon lights. Those who claim to have encountered Hoofy describe an uneasy feeling, like they were suddenly prey in the presence of a predator wearing human skin. Could a Krampus-like entity adapt with the times, trading in rustic furs for a three-piece suit? Even the Appalachian region has its share of Goatman lore. Residents in remote parts of West Virginia and Kentucky have long spoken about the Goatman or similar creatures in the hills. Hikers report eerie experiences, the snap of a twig and a whiff of a musky animal scent, a scent of being watched. Once a camper woke to find large hoofprints circling the tent in fresh mud. One famous legend from Kentucky speaks of the Pope-Lick monster, a goat hybrid entity said to haunt an old railway trestle. While many dismiss it as urban legend, it shares an uncanny resemblance to Krampus imagery, further evidence that around the world, people separated by oceans have imagined or encountered something very similar. Are these all unrelated tales, or bits of a larger, scarier puzzle? Perhaps these encounters are a reminder of the power that legends hold over us. In the cold and dark of winter, when imagination stirs, who's to say that an old Yuletide demon cannot find a way to slip through? In old European folklore, Krampus comes calling only for the naughty. But if any of these accounts are to be believed, he or something like him might be out there, still, roaming far beyond alpine villages. Maybe he's always been out there, known by different names to different people. El Diablo, the Hoofman, the Goatman, or simply the Christmas Devil. Whether you take these stories at face value or with a hefty pinch of salt, one fact remains. Those who lived them are utterly convinced of what they saw and felt. Their fear is real. And on a snowy December night, when shadows caper the edge of your vision, their stories might just make you glance over your shoulder, heart pounding, and wonder, what if? As you turn off the lights this Krampus night, you might find yourself listening a little more closely. Was that the wind rattling the window? Or could it be the faint jingle of a chain? Stay safe, stay warm, and as always, sleep tight. Keep one eye on the dark, and maybe leave out an extra gingerbread cookie, just in case Krampus is hungry.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A lot of supplement brands chase trends, but if you're serious about your health, we know research-backed science is what actually moves the needle. Momentous works with the best brains in human science to create every formula, and every batch is made of pure ingredients, tested for safety, and does not contain fillers. So you get the best long-term results possible. Creatine isn't just for muscle gains, it's essential daily fuel for your brain, body, and long-term performance. Momentous CreaPure Creatine is backed by leading performance experts like Dr. Andrew Huberman and Dr. Stacy Sims. Sourced exclusively in Germany, CreaPure sets the gold standard for creatine, delivering the purest form, creatine monohydrate, that's rigorously washed and never cut with fillers. With over 2,000 5-star reviews, over 112,000 customers have seen the results firsthand. With Momentous, the fundamentals are done right. Right now, Momentous is offering our listeners up to 35% off your first subscription order with promo code ACAST. Go to livemomentous.com and use promo code ACAST for up to 35% off your first subscription order. That's livemomentous.com, promo code ACAST.
I really love these stories, and I've tied in tomorrow's classic ghost story to this as well, because years ago, I said that I probably would never do the Devil's Footprints as an episode because it's like so overdone. But I've done it, and I've done it in more of a kind of narrative way. So it's kind of got elements of where it's imagined what happened, but going from the information that is available, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You do know the Devil's Footprints, right? Okay, because we're recording that tomorrow. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's great. And it's in Devon. And that's where we're off to in January. To one of the places is Dawlish, where the footprints appeared. And it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got all kinds of footprints and stuff going on this week. And then the Reddit episode is also kind of connected to this time of year.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Krampus?
Yeah.
What?
He's a big geezer, isn't he?
I love the way that he appears in the movie Krampus.
Yeah, when you're naughty and that.
Yeah, just the way the way he looks, that specific Krampus is great. It's huge, the horns, everything. It looks really good, that Krampus.
Yeah, I remember watching a movie where it's like, he's like proper massive. He's like wham,
yeah,
muscly,
yeah,
and he's like, he had like beef with Santa.
Oh, okay.
But at the end of the film, they was like mates because he like beat his sister or something.
Oh, okay. That's a different one.
Yeah.
That's more of a horror one. I haven't seen that one. I've seen the one with the little boy in the family. You've seen that one as well, haven't you? And I've got the bell that's very similar, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch up with you.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Granger. Granger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Granger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
So good, so good, so good.
Give big, save big. With Rack Friday deals at Nordstrom Rack. For a limited time, take an extra 40% off Red Tag clearance for total savings up to 75% off. Save on gifts for everyone on your list, from brands like Vince, Cole Haan, Sam Edelman, and more. All sales final and restrictions apply. The best stuff goes fast, so bring your gift list and your wish list to your nearest Nordstrom Rack today.
The stories told on the Whispering Woods are inspired by historical records, witness reports, and local folklore. While every effort is made to research and represent events accurately, some details, names, and locations may differ from official accounts or have been changed out of respect for those involved. These episodes are created for storytelling and entertainment purposes, and should not be considered definitive fact or investigative journalism.